Okay, so I would just want to give you a quick demo of our new TeMeDa API portal. So our portal is available on the web. The URL is here, temeda.portal.azure-api.net. So we've got all of our APIs out here, all the documentation. You can run tests. So let's just go over a few of the APIs here. When you come to the TeMeDa API portal, you've got a button here that says sign up. So if you want to actually execute the APIs, you can sign up and then subscribe to one or more APIs. If you want to just read the documentation and see what's there, you can just go right into the documentation. So let's go ahead and do that. So we offer 3 different APIs right now. We've got our AEMP API, a Telemetry API, and then what we call our Push Service API. So the AEMP API, that allows you to, there's 2 different APIs for AEMP. We can pull OEM data via the AEMP standard. That's the Association of Equipment Management Professionals. So they have a standard for pulling data, and several OEM companies provide that API, and we can pull that into TeMeDa. So here you can see CAT, John Deere, Komatsu, Volvo, etc. So if you have equipment with one of these OEMs, you can pull that right into your TeMeDa account. We also offer a way to pull data out of your TeMeDa account using the AEMP API that you can integrate into your internal systems. Okay, the second API, that's the Telemetry API. So that's your TeMeDa customer account. It has all of your assets, all of your devices, the locations, your zones, all the projects that you've set up, your drivers, everything where each asset is, the location of that asset, the lat long, the history trail, all the reports. All that information that's in your TeMeDa customer accounts will also be in this API. And then the Push Service API is an API that we set up for customers that want a real-time pipe of data flowing into their system. So as the data travels from the telematics devices out in the field, over the internet, and into TeMeDa, we can set up a Push Service API to also flow that data into your customer account, into your on-premise server that you'll set up that has an HTTP listener, and you can receive that data real time. Okay, so I want to just demo quickly the Telemetry API. So what you'll do when you first to get signed up, you can come here, you can see these are all the different operations in the Telemetry API. So with each operation, you give a little overview, you can try it, you can see the parameters that are required, and then you can see an example response. Everything's in JSON. And then we give you some code samples on how to execute this particular call. And you can do it in curl, C#, Java, etc. Okay, so if you wanted to sign up, you could sign up here. You can sign up, you can register either through Google or Microsoft. And then once you sign up, you'll get an email, and that will allow you to actually subscribe to the API. So it's a 2-step process. Then once you subscribe, you'll get an authorization token key and a subscription key, and you'll be able to hit your account data. Okay, so I've got another one where I'm logged in here already. Okay, so I'm back on the TeMeDa API portal in the Telemetry API. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here to Assets, and I'm going to make a call to get all of my assets. So you can see here, gets all. We give you a little description of what the call is going to do. Gets all assets, all asset fields, including the device and the latest GPS information. I've got a couple things that are required. This is the URL, and we do require an authorization token. an environment code, and then your subscription key. Okay, here's an example of the response that you'll get back. So you'll see this JSON response. It'll return all of your assets, the device, and the latest GPS information. And then we give you some code samples on how to execute this call. So you can see curl, C#, Java, etc. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. Okay, so I've got my authorization code. I'll paste that in. We're going to hit our dev environment, so I'll enter that code. My subscription key, once you're logged in, it's already filled in for you. And I'll go ahead and hit send. Okay, so I got a 200 response. That's good. And now I can see the JSON that's been returned from that API call. And here you can see I've got all of my assets. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to find my particular car. Okay, so here's an example. I am this asset here, Dave Sequoia. This is in my dev account. And you can see all the asset information, the year, make, model, etc. VIN. I can scroll down to the device, and most people are probably interested in the lat long. So here I can see, if I look for lat long, here's lat long. That's the current lat long of this device. And the other thing most people are interested in are the engine hours and or odometer. So you'll see those under the estimated GPS odometer and the estimated engine hours. So here you can see it looks like I have 130,000 miles and 3,000 operating hours. If I switch back to my TeMeDa account, you can see pull up Dave Sequoia, and you can see that data matches here. So my odometer is 130,000 and 3169 operating hours. Okay, so that's an example of the assets call. As you can see, you have access to all these different operations here. This also includes things like maintenance of your logs, plans, and tasks. And then any report that you can run within TeMeDa.com, you can also run that same report from the API as well. So if you're interested in certain reports, DTC reports, activity detail reports, job history, job movement, you can run all those reports directly from the API as well. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the new TeMeDa API.